Hey guys, what's going on? It's Matthew, and this is Steven.
What's up?
And today we're going to be covering the new movie called Get Out. So anyway guys, this is our review for Get Out, which is a 2017 horror film who was directed by a man who you guys might know. His name is Jordan Peele, who was actually
the one and only.
He was in the movie Keanu, and it's kind of funny to see like a big transition from like a comedy movie to a horror film, but he pulled it off, and we'll explain more in a little bit. But the movie stars a person's name who I know I'm going to butcher, but his name is Daniel Kaluuya, something like that, and also stars Allison Williams as the character's girlfriend in the movie.
Yep. So the plot of Get Out, we follow a character named Chris who plays as Daniel, and him and his girlfriend, they've been dating for about 4 or 5 months. So they feel it's time to meet the parents, right? So they go on a weekend getaway to the parent.
The parents' house.
The parents' house.
Yeah.
What's her name? Rose.
Yeah, that's the girlfriend's name. Rose.
They go to Rose's parents' house to meet the family, and they basically they find out that he is black, and it catches them a little off guard, and they have the whole family comes into town, and just crazy stuff just starts going down from there. We don't want to get into too much with that because that will involve a lot of spoilers, but things start to get really crazy.
Just know that the title of the movie is exactly what it sounds like. It's Get Out. You need to get out for a reason.
No, you need to get out right now.
Get out right now. That's exactly what this movie is about.
Exactly. So they meet the parents. They seem like very cool people. Like, they're very nice. The mom is a psychiatrist. The dad is a doctor. And they're really cool. They're very welcoming. And the brother, as far as him, we don't know a whole lot about the brother, except that he's like really into like MMA fighting, jiu-jitsu, stuff like that. And so they sit down, whatever. Actually, Daniel played as
Chris.
Chris,
the boyfriend.
Yeah, Chris. He actually smokes cigarettes, and the parents, that's the only thing that really kind of triggers them, is that he does smoke cigarettes in front of their daughter.
Supposedly he does that, and they go after him, but like in a positive way, like, you know, you should probably stop smoking.
They don't really force it on him.
They don't really force it on him, but they're just like, maybe you should stop smoking. You know, smoking's bad for you. And this is coming, of course, from the dad, who has. Yeah. I mean, of course, he would know that smoking is bad. You know?
But it does kind of throw him off because it's like, I just met these people, and they're like, you don't need to be smoking in front of our daughter, and it just kind of throws him off a little bit.
Yeah, not like in a dictatorial way, but just kind of like a suggestive kind of way. You know, like just like suggesting like you shouldn't do this, but like it's done very creepily.
Yeah. But so the mom offers with a hypnosis, or the dad does.
It's the mom, yeah. The mom like has Chris wakes up and he goes downstairs, and like the mother's downstairs. She's having a cup of tea or coffee. I think it's tea, but she basically has him sit down in a chair, like he's all relaxed and everything. And of course she does like her hypnotic techniques on Chris, and he basically just stops smoking. And in fact, Chris even says later on in the movie, he's like, I'm good. I don't need to smoke anymore. I don't feel the urge to do that anymore. So we find out that works, and it's interesting, but it's just after that it starts happening, more creepy stuff happens.
So guys, this is a spoiler-free review, so we're gonna try not to get too in depth with the story. But so Matthew, what are some things that you enjoyed about the movie?
Well, first off, let me just go ahead and say this to you guys, that overhyped movies can definitely disappoint you. And when I first saw the trailer for this movie, I was not too excited to see it. I mean, like, I was interested. I was like, yeah, I would go see that movie. I'll see what it's like. You know, so we went to the movie today, and, you know, we saw it, and I gotta say, like, the trailer doesn't give away too much, which actually is a good thing, because this movie actually ended up being a lot smarter and a lot more clever than I was expecting it to be.
Definitely.
I was honestly just thinking this movie would come off as like a cliched, like by the numbers, just horror movie, like where like, you know, something would jump out at you and like you wouldn't expect it. And honestly, like the plot kind of just didn't give away too much in the trailer. So all we really know is that, you know, this couple go to see like the parents, and like that's about it. Like, you know, we know that creepy stuff happens, but it's like it was kind of like The Visit, you know, like the trailer with The Visit.
And but because they kept it so vague, you didn't really know what they were kind of going for as far as like the white family, like, because it took a while for Daniel.
Oh, that Chris, yeah.
Sorry, it took a while.
Daniel's the actor.
It took a while for Chris to really kind of like open up about it, because he just kind of like kept all of it to himself. Like a bunch of weird things were happening, but he just kept it to himself. He wasn't really like opening up, and I was like, so what's he really thinking? Like, and then he eventually opens up to his girlfriend and just explaining like what's going on, like the events that were taking place.
Yeah, well, but I gotta say though, like probably going into this movie, like I said, I wasn't like overexcited to see it, but I was interested. So going back to that, I was gonna say like one of the best parts about the movie for me was actually just like not knowing not knowing too much about it. Like,
yeah.
I like walking into a movie like not knowing what's gonna happen, because like often nowadays it's not even the movie's fault, but like the trailer can just give away too much for like marketing purposes to bring you into the seat. Like, and I don't like when movie companies do that.
Yeah.
And again, you can't blame the movie for it because it's not their fault. It's probably just like the marketing's fault. So, but Get Out, it was just like I said, it was an interesting take on like a horror franchise, or like not horror franchise. This is like a new film.
Standalone,
but you know, you've seen racial films before. You've seen like exploitation films, and like they've all been handled in unmature ways, and like they're very like stereotypical of like what you'd expect, you know. But this movie, I actually found it to be quite clever, and like it was actually like really interesting how they handled some stereotypes, because like I gotta say that there were some moments in this movie that actually like I don't know if they were intentional, but they did make me laugh, and like but at the same time this movie was able to pull you back into the world, realizing that hey, this movie is actually supposed to be scary too, you know.
Yeah.
So it had its scary moments and it had its funny moments, and that for me was like one of the best parts about the movie, like not knowing that it had some funny parts to it, and like but knowing that it wasn't like completely diving off into like the funny section.
Yeah.
It wasn't like all exploitation. Also, just to elaborate more, I gotta say that all the actors in the movie, they did a fantastic job, especially Daniel. I'm sorry I can't pronounce your last name, but Daniel, you did a good job. And the funny thing that surprised me was that Daniel apparently is like English, and we didn't even know that. Like, I could not tell he was British. I'm sorry, but he just convinced me so well. That's how good the acting is. Like, and Allison, the girlfriend, she did a good job. The dad and the mom and the brother, they did a good job. You know, other characters, like even like Chris's friend back in Brooklyn, I think he did a fantastic job. He was hilarious.
Yeah.
He stole he for me stole a couple of scenes in the movie because like, he was that funny.
Yeah, he was really when the comedy set in. He was the funny character.
He was, but see, that's the thing. You know, I mean, a lot of people might see that as kind of like an annoying thing, and like, you know, you're taking me out of the horror aspect, but at the same time. Yeah. So he serves as like comedic relief. That's what I was trying to say. I'm sorry, but yeah, he serves as like comedic relief, and it works for this movie. Like I've seen this I've seen people like in other movies try to do this, and it just didn't come off as like working. Like it just didn't work with the idea of it.
But it was the timing was good too, though, because he's with the TSA, and he does have like a serious role technically, but his character is just really funny. But he does have a serious take on how the story's going down.
Mm-hmm. He'll be serious when he needs to, but like at the same time, like he'll have some funny moments.
And the story is so messed up.
It's
explaining such a thing.
Yeah.
People just think you're crazy, because this movie just takes so many twists and turns, and it's just insane.
So Steven, now that I've listed my positives about Get Out, what did you find interesting about this movie?
Yes. Well, there are many things to point out positively about this movie. The whole movie is just great, but to make it brief, we're gonna follow the character Chris. He did a phenomenal job in this movie. Mm-hmm. The casting was on point. So, and just like the way the movie was made, like the sequence of events, I like the way it went down.
The cinematography was nice too. I forgot to mention
cinematography.
That. It was really well lit, and like just not over, like not drawing like too much attention to itself.
Yeah,
I guess.
But as far as Allison, is that her name?
Yeah, that's the actress.
The girlfriend.
Actress's name.
She did great too.
Mm-hmm. Everyone was convincing in this movie.
There were there's some twists coming up that we're not going to talk about, but she's a very convincing role. The parents did a great job. The brother, like he really was like a strange character, and it really set in pretty good. Mm-hmm. The whole movie, you had to go see the movie, because the movie there's so many twists and turns about the movie, and it just keeps you on edge, and it's just an amazing ride.
Mm-hmm. So besides all the positives that we had for Get Out, there was like a major problem that I had. Well, not major. How about that? It's a very minute problem, but basically like towards.
You love that word.
Minute.
Yeah.
Well, in the past I've said minutes, so yeah, I can see why you say that. But during the movie, again, I'm not going to spoil too much, but like here's the thing. Towards like the maybe first quarter of the movie, there was like a guy who just started running towards Chris for some reason, and to me that came off a bit too strong. I felt like it was just kind of like a moment for the audience, like as if like it was just there to like startle you or jump scare you, which again, like, you know, like this movie doesn't have too many jump scares, so I'm not faulting the movie for that, but like I just think it was kind of out of place, at least to me it was. You know, other people might disagree, but I just felt like it was just kind of random.
Just kind of bothered you?
I mean, he didn't even attack Chris, he just ran at him and just like went like a different direction. Like that's all he did. Like,
yeah.
So again, like, besides that, the movie is fantastic. I really couldn't think of many other problems. So, if you guys go to see Get Out, I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised and actually walk out of the movie theater with smiles on your face.
Oh yeah, it was a great movie. So overall, guys, this movie was just amazing. Great movie. Casting, directing, just the acting in general. Everything about this movie just set in so well. The story, the theme. This movie was just hands down one of the most exciting movies I've actually seen in the theaters, I must say. And it's,
really? Wow.
Yeah, just because it was just so fun to watch. This is a really exciting movie. And it's one of the best movies I've seen in a while, for sure. I'm going to give this movie a 9.5 out of 10.
Alright. So yeah, guys, like I said, with that, besides like that one problem with it, it was very minute. Overall, the movie is very good. Jordan Peele, again, he surprised me as like a director because like I think this guy's talented, and Keanu was I don't know if he's made any films prior to Keanu.
Yeah, he's got a ton of films.
Okay, he has. Okay, because I haven't seen too many of his films.
Yeah,
but I gotta say, like, as a comedic actor, he knows how to bring comedy to the table. But when it comes to horror, this actually was a very interesting take. He was able to build suspense. Even if that suspense didn't last as long as like you would expect it to, it still was there, and like that tension and like that curiosity, like that morbid curiosity was still there.
Yeah.
So I think Jordan Peele, I think you did a good job. I think you have like a far future ahead of you. I want to see you make more films like this, hopefully, and just continue to do what you do. The score was interesting. The actors, like I said, they did a fantastic job. Every one of them did good, at least in my opinion. And yeah, guys, like the location was convincing. Everything was just really good about this movie. And besides that one problem, I would have to say that I would give this movie a 8.5 out of 10.
Heck yeah. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's review. Be sure to check out the other reviews. Give this video a like. Go see this movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah, it's definitely worth your guys' time, don't worry.
Definitely. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace.